Hello friends, I am Dr. Amit Gangwal, AI for AI, that is for actionable insights only artificial intelligence is the option. I am Dr. Amit Gangwal, Associate Professor in prestigious SVKM's Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule. In this video, we will talk about AI in drug discovery from viewpoint of application of artificial intelligence, basically machine learning in synthesis of drug molecule. How AI is helping synthetic chemists or chemists to decide the synthesis route of the drug-like molecule or which type of molecule they should try in laboratory for synthesis before going for pre-formulation, formulation, preclinical and clinical studies. So here we go. So the best example of an AI firm which engages in giving support to the synthetic chemists for deciding the route of synthesis is Molecule.one. This is an AI firm, and in COVID time also they have given free access to scientists to decide which type of drug molecule can be synthesized in the laboratory for treatment of COVID-19 infection. So as per the information given on the website, this is the screenshot of the website of Molecule.one I have taken from their website. So what they have mentioned, they have released free access to Molecule.one synthetic accessibility screening capabilities for every team involved in developing potential treatments and cures for COVID-19. So we all know synthetic accessibility means whether the drug-like compound given by machine learning algorithm on the system is whether it can be designed in the laboratory or not. That is called synthetic accessibility. So as per the information given on the website, Molecule.one encourages teams working on de novo small molecule drug discovery to get in touch and start using our platform to validate their ideas. So we all know AI driven drug discovery means either repurposing to check the available molecule for off-label indication, and second way of using AI in drug discovery is de novo drug design, that is to synthesize to generate entirely new drug like molecule using deep neural network and autoencoder and GANs, that is GAN, generative adversarial neural network, using which in silico medicine has designed few drug like molecule which are in clinical trial phase. So now we move ahead. So for example, how this Molecule.one AI platform helps scientists to decide which molecule they should try in the laboratory and what should be the synthesis plan. So they have explained using this example, you understand what AI can do in the context of synthesis from viewpoint of drug discovery. As per the information mentioned on their website, the target on the left has you are seeing two molecules, left and right. So the target on the left has a pretty straightforward synthesis. The left molecule can be designed easily in the laboratory, but the one on the right poses a significant challenge. The right side molecule is difficult to be synthesized in the laboratory. Why? Due to an unusual moiety. You can see and you can compare left and right image. Our technology allows distinguishing between them extremely quickly. Means if you are giving lot many example to their platform, that it will tell you directly it is difficult to synthesize, or it cannot be synthesized, or it will take so and so possible route, or you have to face following hiccups or challenges before going for synthesis of this molecule. So how beautiful it is. Before even going into the laboratory, before purchasing reactant or the material or the raw material, you have an idea what type of molecule I can design very easily in an effortless manner. This is the beauty of AI, and this beauty is being leveraged by the scientific team of Molecule.one. So here another screenshot I have taken from the Molecule.one. So rapidly design reliable synthesis pathways means the synthesis pathways will be easy to do, no challenges involved, and they are reproducible and they are reliable pathways. So you can draw the structure, you can design synthesis, you can view the result. You can do all this on your system screen using high speed GPU enabled computers. So see the beauty. No need to go in laboratory until you have very confirmed information through some solid training and tested deep learning or machine learning models. So what they say, get from structure to synthesis in 3 simple steps. They will tell you these are the possible molecule for disease treatment, this is the possible synthesis route, you can go in the laboratory, you may try it. The chances for failure is much less compared to without AI driven drug discovery and synthesis. So usually we have to scan more than 1 lakh molecule for synthetic accessibility. So gone are the days. Directly you try synthesis pathway on the machine. I mean, machine will tell you what type of molecule you can design. So synthetic accessibility score. Estimate synthetic accessibility using actual synthesis pathway, not complexity heuristics. Use different complexity measures such as number of steps, route robustness, price of static material. Screen up to 5,000 compounds per hour. What molecule.1 is giving in your hand? More than 5,000 compounds you can screen on your system. From synthesis point of view, is it possible in the human brain? Without machine you can't do it. So see the speed in what they are saying. 50,000 molecules per hour you can test in computer whether it can be designed or not. Now, through this diagram, what they have tried to explain, the dots represent compounds arranged especially by Morgan fingerprint similarity. So we all know usually if 2 compounds are similar, they will have similar pharmacological activity. So machines cannot read the molecule. We have to change the molecules into machine readable pattern. For example, fingerprints, for example, smiles or other type of patterns are there. So in this diagram, they have arranged the molecule in fingerprint fashion based on their similarity score. So for example, coloring corresponds to target difficulty assessed by molecule.1 SAF score, that is synthetic accessibility score, whether they can be designed in laboratory or not. So their score finds easy to synthesize compounds in each cluster. So for example, they have 10 clusters of drug like molecule. Okay, all of the molecules given by the machine through AI can become drug, but all of them cannot be synthesized in the laboratory. So their algorithms of molecule.1 has designed the pattern based on their score. So if score is high, you can design easily in the laboratory. This type of ready to use information you can get from the molecule.1 platform. If you talk about retrosynthesis, this is now another example I have taken from the website chemintelligence.com, AI for chemistry. So you got, as I told you in earlier, you got suppose 100 molecules which have the potential to become drug like successful blockbuster, but how to synthesize them? So one way is that you have to break down this product into reactant. You have to go for reverse direction, you have to go for a back propagation, you have to go for retrosynthesis. But how long would you do it? So gone are the days. Now there are attempts in past also, but those attempts generally proved futile. So now recently several high performance machine learning based algorithms have been developed to assist chemists doing retrosynthesis. These complex deep learning algorithms have been trained on very large number of organic reactions. It is important, already we have discussed in earlier videos, machine learning requires huge amount of data. Data should be filtered, and then only you will try machine learning model. You will train and test and validate before deploying for actual problem analysis. So what they are saying, this complex deep learning algorithms have been trained. You have to train the machine learning model using actual data for which you will use it in future. So here you have to train on very large number of organic reaction, typically millions or tens of millions of thousands. The user inputs the molecule that he or she wants to synthesize into the program, and the machine learning algorithm generates a retrosynthesis tree. Each node of the tree is synthesis intermediate, and each leaf of the tree is commercially available starting material. Understand? You have to give the product into system, it will give tentative retrosynthesis type of reactant. Each node of the tree is a synthesis intermediate, and each leaf of the tree is commercially available starting material. So what are the, suppose you want molecule C for which you want A plus B. So it will indicate whether the A or B commercially available or not. See the beauty. Everything is given by machine on the screen through power of deep learning. So now what AI can do in synthesis point of view. See the first left diagram. You have the structure. It will give property. It means AI. Come to second structure. You have the structure. It will give you starting material to make the product. Now next you have two molecule A plus another molecule, and you will give C, and then it will give the property of product, that is C molecule. Coming on to right side, you see the upper example. You have known examples. AI will give you similar molecule based on various scores like 10-meter index or other type of index. Now you are mixing A, B, and one more molecule. AI will give you what is the product. Likewise, it can also predict the yield of the product. See the beauty of AI. So one of these newly developed machine learning algorithm has been proven to be as perfect in making retrosynthesis as experienced chemists, as evaluated with a double-blind comparison of AI-generated retrosynthesis with human-generated retrosynthesis. Like clinical trial, it was a blind experiment where AI designed retrosynthesis was as perfect as human-generated retrosynthesis. This algorithm uses a combination of Monte Carlo tree search and deep learning algorithms. What is algorithm? What is machine learning model? All already we have discussed in earlier preliminary short videos on this topic. But there are some limitation to this current machine learning based retrosynthesis. So we all know when new technology come, there are initial hiccups, but more and more studies are going on, and gradually these hiccups will be removed out. So first they work well for rather simple molecule. So we all know generally simple molecules are very rare in pharmacology. There are some jumbo natural molecules which are difficult to retrosynthesis planning point of view, so it is difficult. But yes, as I told you, more and more data will be available. So machine learning requires huge amount of data, and 80% machine learning task is to pre-process the data, and only 20% is training, and it gives result. So if more and more data are available, this process of AI driven retrosynthesis or synthesis planning will be perfect in due course of time. Second, since the training data sets are based on literature reaction, and literature contains much unreliable data, one can question the validity of the proposed retrosynthesis. So as I told you, whatever you will train the machine learning model, based on training it will learn, it will give the data, it will give the output in future. So if data during training is wrong, your output will be biased and it is not required. That is not the job of machine learning. But as simple as it, machines are machines. They don't have their own brain, so they don't tell you it is wrong, give me right data. No, whatever you are giving it, machine will process it, machine will learn, it will give output. So if you are giving wrong data, if you are giving biased data, it will give wrong or biased output. So you cannot blame machine for that case. Third, these algorithms are not yet capable of reliably predicting the stereochemistry of the reaction products overall, but this AI based retrosynthesis tool are already very valuable for organic chemists, as they provide good starting points, but their results should be checked by experienced chemists. And yes, it will be required to check the output given by the machine, but gradually the need will be lesser and lesser over the years.